All right. Let me get this to boot. All right. Let's see here. Looks like the audio is good this time. We dropped audio about halfway through this thing before, so I'm going to record this live just for giggles, but I'll upload it as soon as it's all done to get everybody in there. So I want to do this right. I apologize for the audio glitch, but I want to make sure that we give a lot of respect for all the people that are showing up this year to try to do this thing. So I'm just going to start over again and go through it and try to get through it in 20 minutes or so. Tour officially opens on the 15th of July. There are no teams then. The 16th of July, no teams then. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. First team's out on the 24th. Now, one thing that I said earlier was that certain things are already locked in for the tour this year. Uh, you can people could certainly drop out. I mean, people are going to drop out while you're out riding the tour. So we get all that, but you can't add anybody after this. So your team can't get any bigger. You can lose people, but you can't gain people. The other thing that is fairly set is your start date and your end date. However, there is an exception that I will almost automatically make. And that is if you are starting out on a day when there's a bunch of other teams already starting out, and you have the flexibility to move to a day when nobody's starting out, so that way you're not overlapping people. That's a change I'll almost automatically make for you. So you can request that in the forum. Again, go to the end of the forum. Don't go way back where you originally posted stuff. If you have the flexibility, you want to change your start date to a date when there are no other teams starting out, that's almost an automatic yes. For any other reason, we might have to talk about it a little bit because the dates kind of are what they are. And also, our vendors along the way kind of plan on seeing you at a certain time. And I don't want to cause any disruption for them as well. So I'll call out these open dates as I go through this thing. So the 24th, we have Team Sawzall. First team of the year, we always give some snarky name to that has Saw in it. So last year it was Team Saws a lot. This year it's Team Sawzall. Mark Morgan from California. Ryan Harrison from California. I don't know either Mark or Ryan. The only thing I know about him is as the first guy's out, you better have those silky saws sharp and you might want to carry a few spares. Good luck. No one starting out on the 25th, so that's another open day. On the 26th, excuse me, we have three teams starting out. Team Armadillo. Armadillo is David Powell and David Lucas, both of Texas. Don't know anything about these gentlemen. I think I've spoken with both of them briefly just on the internet. Seem like nice guys, and Texas is sure different from Idaho, so I hope you enjoy yourself while you're here, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. Second team, Team Head East, Levi McConnell and Devin Teeter of Boise. In the earlier video, just before the audio dropped, I was talking about these fellas. Again, familiarity breeds contempt. Teams from Idaho don't have an overly impressive record on the Tour of Idaho. And I think a lot of times it's because the stuff's in your backyard and you don't give it the proper amount of respect. Yes, you may have ridden these trails as a day ride before, but did you ride them on a loaded bike? Did you ride them in the middle of a 250-mile day? So you guys are close enough that it would be worth your while if you haven't done already to go out and pre-ride some of this stuff. Pre-ride it with a loaded bike. See how it all feels. There's nothing against that in the rules. So best of luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing you fellas over here probably on the night of the 26th. Next team is Team On the Border. This is a team I just added. On the Border has two people on it I don't know and one person I do. So the folks I don't know are Corey Davis and Ashley Gawley. both from Canada. And then the third member of this team is Brian Millis. And Brian is a personal friend of mine. He is at least a one-time tour finisher, and I think probably two. Super good guy, good rider, excellent outdoor skill set. The guy's ski patrolled. He's done all kinds of impressive things. And I'm looking forward to seeing him back here to a version of the route that he hasn't ridden before. So best of luck, you guys. They're called Team on the Border because we're not so sure if they're going to be able to get across the border in time to do this, but maybe do what they did back in Prohibition days and row a boat across a lake or something if you have to. Best of luck. On the 27th, we have a team starting out, Team Desert Vista. This is a soloist, Nathan Caban from California. Don't know the first thing about Nathan. I've talked to him just a little bit on the internet. Seems like a nice fella. And best of luck, Nathan. You're our first soloist this year. And it's good that there are some teams in front of you, because having been the first soloist of the year many times when there's no one in front of you, I can tell you from personal experience, that's not a position you want to be in. But there should be enough people ahead of you that you shouldn't have too many troubles unless there's storms between you and them. On the 28th, nobody's starting on the 28th, so there's an open date if you want to change your start date. On the 29th, we have teams starting out, Team Top Quark, Kevin Yarnell, James Yarnell, and Garrett Smith, all from California. They look like they have some race experience. I see a lot of race numbers on the photographs in their bike. I owe these guys a little bit of an apology because they actually registered way early on, and I forgot about that. They were way, way back there somewhere. And as I was going through and I saw they posted again, I think I had already given them a name, California Cubed. And so we gave them a snarky name, which is what we always do when people attempt to name their own teams. And I'd actually already named their team. But then I was poking through their Facebook pages, which I try to do when I'm assigning team names and sort of trying to get to know you before you show up here. And I saw that I believe it's young James just graduated from college. Congratulations. And one of his degrees, I think he got a degree in engineering and also a degree in physics. So a man after my own heart. So we changed you to a less snarky, more honorable team name. You are now Team Top Quark, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you at the flagpole. Best of luck. That takes us to the 30th. On the 30th, we have a soloist, Mark Hirth from Minnesota. Team badges. Mark's been here before. And I'm looking forward to finally getting to meet you. So best of luck, Mark. Holler if you need anything. On the 1st, no team starting out, or excuse me, the 31st. No team starting on the 31st. 1st of August, we have a soloist, Mark Patton of Idaho. Again, Mark, same proviso as I gave the other fellows from Idaho. You have plenty of opportunity to pre-ride sections of the trail close to you. Do it on a loaded bike. Go out and try to ride a whole day. It'll give you more of an idea of what you're getting into. And I'd really like to see the statistics for Idaho riders improve. So welcome, Team Han Solo. On the 2nd, there's a team starting out from Montana, it looks like. Team Couples Therapy, Bobby Joe Masick of Billings, Montana, and Bert Dodge of Billings, Montana. Best of luck. You're doing something I wouldn't do, but I'm me and you guys are you. So best of luck. Last year we had our first female finisher. This year so far, I'm seeing Brian is bringing a female rider with him on his team, and Bobby Joe here on this Team Couples Therapy. So best of luck to Team Couples Therapy. Best of luck to all three of the women. There's another one later on. That's a trend that I really like seeing quite a lot. August 3rd, open day. Nobody starting on August 3rd. August 4th, open day. Nobody starting. August 5th, we've got a team, Idaho. It seems like I know these guys from somewhere, but I don't know where. Michael Knight, Charles Rhodes, and Brent Carlson. Charles is from Idaho. Michael and Brent are from northern Utah. Same proviso, gentlemen. Familiarity breeds contempt. Maybe day one's close enough. Try to ride it on loaded bikes prior to showing up for the tour. It'll give you a really good idea of what you're getting into. And you're close enough that there's not an excuse not to do it as long as you can synchronize your schedules. But I'd really like to see the statistics jump up a little bit for people that live in this area. All right, on the 6th, one of my favorite teams this year, the A team. The A team is Brian DeLange of Idaho Falls and Mike Evans from Idaho Falls. These guys are great personal friends of mine. These two guys saw more trail than anybody. Brian is the Eastern Ranger for the Idaho Department of Parks and Rec, and Mike Evans is the progenitor of the Idaho Single Track Alliance. Uh, Again, these guys are two of my best friends. I love them both like brothers. They are very well prepared for this. And if you're following these guys, you're probably going to be on a pretty buff trail because they are basically genetically wired to clear trail. So even on their tour of Idaho, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be doing too much log hopping and stuff like that. They'll probably make sure that there's a pretty good trail. Best of luck to these guys. There's no one that anybody out here should be cheering for more than the A team. They're good dudes, and they've helped us all quite a lot. The 7th's an open day. Nobody's starting. On the 8th, we've got something pretty interesting here. We've got a team 50 Cent. Friend of mine, Damon Sullivan from over in Oregon, has been over here a couple times before, and I'm hoping the third time's a charm. Don't know his partner, Ken Krebs, was just recently added. And best of luck to both of you guys. Damon, I'm looking forward to seeing you, buddy. And then beyond those, we have a truly international team. We've had teams from Canada before. But this is a team from Germany and Switzerland. We have Thomas Haug from Germany. We have Oliver Mueller from Germany. And we have Martin Anring from Switzerland. And I don't know if those guys are going to make it because we don't know what the border situation is yet. But how exciting is that we have a European team coming all the way over here to do the tour? I've talked to these guys. It seems like they get it. A lot of times Europeans don't get it. I remember when I was climbing, a lot of the European climbers would come from Europe to here, and it's two completely different environments. The European mountains and national parks and the American mountains and national parks, because in Europe, things are pretty concentrated. So if you're in the mountains in Europe, you're probably not too far from a village somewhere. And when you're in the mountains in North America, depending on where you are, the American West or the Canadian West, you could be way far from anybody. And sometimes it's difficult for people to make that transition. But these guys seem like they are prepared for what's going on. I'm very much looking forward to meeting them. So Team German Swiss, good luck. 9th, we have a team Glitter Gulch starting out. Glitter Gulch is a duo, Mike Boughton of Ketchum, Idaho, and Ty Tabor, also presumably of Ketchum. I know Mike quite well. I don't know Ty at all. Mike is a guy that's helped me quite a bit with the Tour of Idaho over the years. He's been a member of our community for a long time, despite having not ridden it. And he's given me a tremendous amount of help with trails around Ketchum, most of which I don't know very much about. So Mike has advised me a lot. He's been super helpful. He's a really nice guy. I met him for the first time in person last year over at Smoky Bar Store. And I'm really rooting for these guys. Again, don't know Ty, but Mike's a super good dude. So best of luck to you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you both at the flagpole. 10th is an open day, no team starting. On the 11th, we have a team soloist from Salt Lake City, Keith Pankow. His team name is NX211. Keith will probably know the significance of that number for a soloist. And anybody else that thinks they know, I might put a little poll up on the Facebook page later on. We'll see if we can figure it out. So Keith, best of luck. On the 12th, we have two teams starting out. So we have and there's a theme to both of these names too. We have Team Pink Raspberry Cosmo. Greg Stoller of Beaverton, Oregon, and Rob Strahan of Dallas. Don't know either of these guys. They seem like nice guys to be. And from what little I've been able to poke around on their Facebook pages, it looks like they know what they're doing. So I'm looking forward to meeting them both. Team Pink Raspberry Cosmo is what happens when you attempt to name your own team. And the Turicles twist it around a little bit. But they seem like good guys. Best of luck. In a similar vein, Team White Claw also starts on the 12th. Sam Punderson of Maine and Stephen Hall of Vermont. These guys were here a couple of years ago, I think. Not last year, maybe the year before that. Nice guys, great outdoor skill set, really good riders. Had a little bit of trouble the last time they were here, but they did something that was kind of cool. instead of just throwing their hands up in the air and going, "We're going back," they hung around and they took the advice we always give is, "Look, you're here. You drove all the way out from wherever. You're in Idaho. You got bikes. You got a lot of stuff. Just go ride as much of it as you can. Forget about the challenge point rules. Kind of go do sort of a T2 or a T3 kind of an experience. Just have some fun with it." Well, that's what they did. And they actually rode an amazing part of the route. They rode all the good stuff and they rode a lot of the other stuff as well, just to get a feel for what it was like. That's a really good way to prep yourself for your next time out here. I knew they'd be coming back, and I'm looking forward to seeing them both. So, Sam and Steve, I'll see you later. And Steve, you really need to be talking to Sam on the way out here because it can get worse than just White Claw. Never mess with a man with a microphone. 13th is an open day. 14th is an open day. No one's starting. 15th is an open day. 8 teams on the route, but no one's starting. 16th, we have a team, Steel Horses. Don't know any of these fellas. Keith Webster from Alberta, Canada, Hans Christensen from Nevada, and Wayne Wilson from Wyoming. Best of luck. Looking forward to meeting you. We have on the 17th a soloist starting out, Jake Reed of Washington. Don't know the first thing about Jake. Haven't heard from him. Haven't seen him participate in anything on the forums or PBR Mondays or anything. So, Jake, if you're still out there, buddy, you're planning on doing this, you might want to wave us or something. Let us know you're still alive and still planning on coming through. On the 18th, we have 2 teams starting out. Team Back for More. Bill Buckingham, super nice gentleman from California, has, I believe, been here a couple times before. And I'm looking forward to finally, hopefully, meeting you at the flagpole. Soloist. The second team is Team Way Up North, Craig Hamilton and John Gower. And I think they're both from Spokane. They're from Washington State somewhere, and Spokane seems to ring a bell. I called these guys out earlier because they did me a great favor just by providing information to me in a way that made it really easy. I really, really appreciate that. So I might have something for you guys at the flagpole if I'm able to catch up with you there. When you make my life easy, we're already friends. So thanks again. All right. On the 19th, we have a Team Trustafarian. So I have been warned about these guys because one of them is a friend of a really good friend of mine. It's Dylan Knight and Stuart Schiff. Dylan's from Davidson, North Carolina. Stuart is from Jackson right now, but I understand by way of Davidson, North Carolina. Stuart has a skill set, I understand, from our mutual friend that's similar to mine. So it'll be fun to watch him get out here and operate. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Team Trustafarian. On the 20th, oh man, here we go. Team Hillbilly. Jeff Stoss and Kent Aness from Kentucky. Jeff and Kent are both friends. Didn't know him when I was back in Kentucky, but we've become friends since then. Jeff is the progenitor of something called the Kentucky Adventure Tour, which is a tour of Idaho type of event that occurs back in Kentucky. Kent is a friend of his and helps a lot with GIS. He's done some GIS work for us as well. These guys were here a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, had some bad weather and some bad luck, which did them in. But I think that they're good riders. They're very well prepared. And I think this year, unless they have more bad luck, they're probably going to be in pretty good shape. But having said that, Kent, you didn't drink the L8. You wouldn't put on the coonskin cap. Had you drank the L8 and put on the coonskin cap, I think that bad luck might have found somebody else.